September 1, 1939. The world held its breath. At dawn, German tanks thundered into Poland. Warplanes screamed overhead. Within hours, cities were burning and civilians were fleeing. It was the moment the world had dreaded, but not truly prepared for. The Second World War had begun. But how did it come to this? How did a single invasion unleash the deadliest conflict in human history? This is the story of broken promises, dangerous appeasement, and a dictator who would stop at nothing. After the First World War ended, the Treaty of Versailles was supposed to secure peace. Instead, it planted the seeds for another war. Germany was punished harshly, stripped of territory, disarmed, and burdened with crippling reparations. As historian Margaret Macmillan writes in Paris 1919, the treaty humiliated Germany without destroying its capacity to strike back. In the shadows of this humiliation, Adolf Hitler rose to power, promising revenge, glory, and a reborn Reich. Rise of Nazi ambition. By the late 1930s, Hitler had already defied Versailles by rebuilding Germany's military and annexing Austria and the Sudetenland. Western powers, Britain and France, chose appeasement over confrontation. In 1938, at the Munich Conference, they handed Hitler part of Czechoslovakia in exchange for a promise of peace. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain famously declared he had secured peace for our time. But Hitler had no intention of stopping. As historian Richard Overy explains in The Origins of the Second World War, appeasement only convinced Hitler that his enemies lacked the will to fight. The Nazi-Soviet Pact. Then came a shocking twist. In August 1939, Hitler signed a non-aggression pact with his ideological enemy, Joseph Stalin. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact stunned the world. Secret clauses divided Eastern Europe between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. This cleared Hitler's path to attack Poland without fear of a two-front war. Stalin, meanwhile, bought time to prepare his own forces. Invasion of Poland. At 4:45 a.m. on September 1st, German forces crossed the Polish border. Blitzkrieg, lightning war, was unleashed. Fast-moving tanks, motorized infantry, and relentless air raids overwhelmed Polish defenses. Within weeks, the country was carved up by Germany and the USSR. The brutality was immediate. Civilians targeted, cities flattened. As detailed in Timothy Snyder's Bloodlands, this marked the beginning of unimaginable violence in Eastern Europe. Britain and France declare war. 2 days later, on September 3rd, Britain and France declared war on Germany. But there was hesitation, even confusion. Their armies remained largely inactive in what became known as the Phony War. Still, the die was cast. Europe was at war once more. The failure to stop Hitler earlier now came at a staggering cost. The outbreak of World War II wasn't sudden. It was the result of a slow, dangerous drift. A failure to confront aggression before it spiraled out of control. As historian Ian Kershaw puts it, the war came not because it was inevitable, but because no one stopped it. Hitler gambled that the West would back down again. And this time they didn't. The invasion of Poland didn't just mark the start of a war, it marked the beginning of global catastrophe. Over the next 6 years, tens of millions would die. Borders would be redrawn. The world would never be the same. This wasn't just history, it was a warning. When tyranny rises and democracies hesitate, the consequences can be world-shattering. What do you think? Could this war have been prevented? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful turning points in history.